So I'm curious, we're in mortgage and real estate, and let's be honest, a lot of alcohol consumption happens in our industry.
Yeah.
We're eliminating alcoholism.
So I'm curious with the diet though. I mean, is it like the first 16 days, no alcohol? Is it never any alcohol again? Like, what does that look like? I'm sure there's best practices and there's reality, but I'm just curious kind of what Alan kind of promotes.
Yeah. Ideally, you're not drinking any, but definitely for the first 16 days, you're not. And then 2 or 3 months into the cut, like alcohol, there's no benefit from alcohol.
Well,
really.
Not only is there no benefit from alcohol, I would argue that it's poison. So, there's that.
Yeah. And so I think that's probably one of the biggest eye-openers we're seeing is we're eliminating people that were drinkers don't drink anymore. And so they're getting their life back.
There's like two types of sugar addiction. Like alcohol is a weird version of a sugar addiction, and then the food is like a weird version of the sugar addiction. But so you have people so during the first 16 days, of course, no drinking. And then in the first part of phase 2, there is no drinking. But then technically, once the cheat meals get introduced, you could drink during your cheat meal. And so I probably drink once every 2 weeks. But it's not one.
Right, sure.
It might be a couple marks. So one, yes, I do agree alcohol is poisoning. I just enjoy the kind of the social aspect of it. But it's programmed in as part of your cheat if that's what you want.
Sure.
There's one individual in the group who loves chocolate. So like they have these fancy chocolate bars that they have during their cheat. It's not, you have to limit your life for a moment in time in order to change your habits. So you use the word discipline. I hate that word. My mom used to chase me around with a wooden spoon to discipline me. I just want to change habits because it's easier and it's less drastic and emotionally damaging to me. So we're changing habits, but once your habits start to change, you can have things that are fun, that are part of your lifestyle, that allow you to have a normal lifestyle, and you can program things in. So with my second cheat meal, for example, I moved it one day because my neighbor it was his birthday, and I wanted to go out to dinner and just eat whatever anyone else was having at dinner. I will tell you though, for the busy entrepreneurs, it's almost like it's heavenly. It calms the mind because we're so spun up on everything. When I know that I've got 2 options for breakfast, 2 to 3 options for lunch, and 2 to 3 options for dinner, and I plan my food out, I don't have to think about what I'm doing for most of the week, and I can just pound through, which allows me then to put more time and energy into my family and into business.
Yeah, and you make more money because you have more energy. I used to crash after lunch around like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd have to take a nap.
Yeah.
I don't crash anymore.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I've been working on my diet as well, and as I've mentioned on here multiple times, I don't drink any alcohol. But I noticed that when I was still consuming quite a bit of sugar and carbs, I was tired every afternoon. And I'm like, there's so many other things I've fixed in my diet. I'm like, why am I tired at like right before dinner, like 4 o'clock sometimes even? And I'm like, I have to take a nap, and usually I don't have time for a nap. So I'm just like, I'm dragging, Mm-hmm. I drove home one afternoon, evening. I almost thought I was going to fall asleep driving my car. And it just was not late at night, and I just was crashing. Since I've, changed my diet, again, different than what you guys are doing, but, I'd say, I was inspired by what you guys were doing to kind of come up with something that worked for me. But I got energy all afternoon, and I found myself the other day, I was on a 5:30 phone call, and I'm just like on fire.
Let's go.
And it might as well have been the morning. So it's interesting how, your body crashes when you're consuming sugar. It's sugar, you guys. I think, really a lot of this is sugar. And I say sugar like people think like white sugar sitting on their counter. I'm talking the sugar and the fructose and the high fructose corn syrup and all the things that they try to hide in your food to make it feel like it's not sugar. It's all got sugar in it. And it's crazy, and that's why if you were to go watch one podcast or episode, I'm talking from a doctor, right? A about sugar and processed food and how it reacts in your body, that might be the motivation. That was some of the motivation for me that got me to finally make the changes necessary.